Hi everybody. Today I'm up here to explain you guys a little bit more upon the sport of soccer and what it is. So when I walk around, the streets and stuff, and I tend to ask people, what's the big sport in America? What comes to your mind when you hear American sports? Some people usually tend to say football, baseball, basketball, but I don't really hear much about soccer. The reason why I like soccer is because obviously I come from a Hispanic heritage. My parents grew up. They're not from the United States. Where they're from, soccer's a big sport. And they just I always grew up playing that sport, and it really shows like the difference between other sports because it's more watched upon the world because it's a global sport. It's not just like football where it's more famous here in America or baseball more here in America also. It's a very global sport. Like it's known everywhere, besides as much here in America. So I tend to think about that, and when I thought about what to talk about, I came up here to let you guys know about the sport of soccer. So I'll be up here to tell you guys what it is, how it's played, and like what are the rules of the game. So first, I want to talk about what is soccer. So soccer is a worldwide sport. Like I said earlier, it's played all over the world, everywhere, other countries. Europe, Asia, Africa, the United States, and then even more. There are many competitions played within this sport. It's not like just one league. It's all different. It adds up to equal. Like to different type of tournaments. For example, there's a league cup where the top four teams in each league qualifies for the European Championship, which is called a UEFA Champions League. That means the top four teams from every league in the world qualify for that tournament, and it's a group stage tournament with four teams in each group, and it's around like eight different groups. So each two teams for those groups qualify, to the 16 round, to the knockout round, and to there's a champion of Europe, equals up to one team, and there's another tournament which is just like, for example, an NBA championship or a Super Bowl, but instead it's called the World Cup, which is most likely probably the most popular sport tournament that there is in the world. Um, what basically it is every country in the world they like have qualifications, so they each had to play a couple games. I think around 10 or 12 games, and depending on which top three teams in each group has the most points, those three countries go have a chance to play in the World Cup tournament to see who will become the world champion. Last year, well, yeah, last year it was France, and they were the crowned, the champions of the whole world in the sport of soccer. The cool part about this tournament is that it's not like a every year thing like a Super Bowl. It's every 4 years. So every national team has within 4 years to train, practice, and get better, and then try to reach enough points to qualify for the tournament. So it's not like a Super Bowl that's held every year or something. The next thing I like to talk about is the rules of soccer. So soccer is played on a field that is 120 yards long and or 60 to 70 yards wide. So it's played between 45 minutes each half and a total amount of 90 minutes. So it's 45 minutes first half, 15 minutes break, and then another 45 minutes. We go up to 90 minutes of playing time. The whole point of the game is basically for your team to outscore the other team within the 90 minutes. Now the rules are there are only 22 players on the field. It's 11 on one team versus 11 on the other team, with three referees on the field. Two of the referees staying on the sidelines, which are watching like the out of bounds, who was offside, and a main referee in the middle of the field who calls the fouls in case somebody got hurt or somebody got hit, illegal contact and stuff like that. So the whole point is for you to outscore your opponents within the 90 minutes of the game, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most points is the winner. Or if not, you conclude in a draw, or if your team lost, then they lost. Now I'd like to talk about the history of the sport. The sport of soccer tracks back to like around 2,000 years back into ancient China. It's a very old sport. It grew around China and it just started spreading around all the world. But where it really hit first was England. England was the first country to like actually show the sport to the world. They made up the rules of the game, how the game should be played, will be played, and all that that kind of good stuff. That's where the history of soccer really comes out from. Uh, that's basically, a lot of the history about soccer. It's a lot different from American football or baseball. Grown here in American soil, it's a lot different. But it does excite me to see that the sport of soccer is getting a little bit bigger here in America. Not as fast as I would like for it to grow, but it's getting there. It's making progress every year, yearly. I'm starting to see more soccer stadiums built around more cities, more states. Um, I'm starting to see more commercials here in the United States about soccer. When I go outside, I see stores, soccer stores that sell stuff, and it excites me as a soccer player from the United States to see that that sport is growing to become a very important sport in America. So yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope y'all learn a little bit more about the history of soccer and what it is, how the game is played, and more other stuff. Thank you.